What's up guys, Garrett here with Infinite Respawn Gaming. Today we are going to build a printer to automatically print small grid ships. So let's get to it. First off, let's grab what we need out of the inventory menu. So we're going to need light armored blocks. We're going to need a control seat. That is kind of optional, but it makes it a little bit easier. We're going to need a projector. We're going to need welders, the actual block. We're going to need pistons, rotors. Make sure you get the basic rotor, not the advanced rotor. And then the last thing we'll need is a conveyor, and I think that should be it. So let's get to it. Now obviously I'm in creative mode, but this is a pretty basic printer that you could easily build in survival. So I'm going to build this 3 high or 2 high from ground level, and then from there we can start adding pistons. Now my ship is a relatively small, or maybe an average small grid ship, so I am going to just use 2 pistons. You can use 3 if you feel like you need it. Just kind of judge based on the results I get in this video. And after I have 2, we're going to add a welder. We're going to add another welder on the side here, and then we'll add a 3rd welder on the other side here. Make sure they are up and down so the connectors are on the side, otherwise all 3 of these will not be connected. And the resources are just going to flow from our storage to these conveyors, through the pistons, and to the welders. So make sure this is connected to your storage. Now let's go ahead and give us some room to build. We'll extend this out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. Probably start printing right here. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to put a control seat right on top of this so I can watch it print. Now this is going to be our print area, so we'll place our rotor right here. We will deconstruct the top part because we don't need that. We actually need a small rotor head on there. So we'll go to the items, we'll find the rotor, and then we will add a small head. And then on top of this, we just need to add a light armor block and then our projector to the side. Now you want the plus to be on top. So these are like the basic sides that are facing me. That's basic side, that's a basic side, that's a basic side. If we go here, there's that little plus or the cross, that's the top. And then we want this little minus to face the welder. So we got the cross on top, and then the plus or minus is facing the welder. The front part doesn't really matter that much because you can flip and rotate around the projection pretty easily, but that's just the way I like to set it up. Now that we have that, we are going to go over here and we will grab piston 2. That might be all we need. Let's go ahead and extend that all the way. So we will click on reverse here to extend that all the way. While that's extending, we're going to group some stuff together. So let's grab the welders. And group those together. And then we're going to set up our commands. So in this seat, we press G, go to groups. We'll right click on welders all, and then we'll toggle the block on and off. So now all we need to do is press the number 1 to toggle this on and off. The next thing we want to do is find piston 2. And we want to be able to reverse piston 2. And we want to be able to decrease the minimum distance. Now let's go back to piston 2. We'll set the minimum distance to 10 meters, which is as far as it is extended right now. If your piston's not extended to 10 meters, just set the minimum distance to whatever that is. And then we'll click on reverse, so this starts moving backwards. But it's at its minimum distance, so it can't actually start moving backwards until we press 3 to decrease the minimum distance. Now we need to set up our projection, so we'll press K again, go to projector. We'll go to blueprints. If you don't have any blueprints here, you either need to go to the Steam Workshop and subscribe to some, or build your own blueprints in creative mode and save them. I'm just going to use the XU2 automated mining drone because I like it. We are going to roll this or rotate the pitch, which is the vertical axis it's on, so that the drills are facing the front and most of the projection is inside the welders, because as we move the welder backwards, it will print the rear of the drone. We also need to adjust the positioning of this a little bit. So this one's going to be 2 and then I think -3. That doesn't quite look right. If we go look at the projection here, we want this to be as close to this little block here as possible. So we need to adjust the vertical axis, or the horizontal axis rather. Go back to our projector, and then we'll try -2. Is that where we want it? That looks a lot better. Cool. So now we need to build a block to connect to at least one block on this. As you can see, we can't actually start building anything on here yet. We need something that connects to this. So we're going to get a light armored block, place it here, and then I'm just going to connect to this front thruster. So we'll place another one here. And now if we look at this thruster, we can see that we can add components and actually start building it. We're not actually going to build it because this is the printer, but your printer needs at least one block that's viable to build. So as it builds this, everything around it will become buildable, and then it will build everything around it. So now that we've got that all set up, we are ready to turn on our welder and get going. Now the welder is a very dangerous object. If you fly into its range while it's on, it will kill you fairly quickly, so make sure you don't fly into its range while it's on. We just pressed 1 to turn it on with our little hotkey. And as you can see, it's stopped printing, which means it has printed everything that it can, or it's out of resources. Make sure you keep a hefty supply of resources for it. If we didn't have enough to build like that thruster that's on the side that we're facing, then it would just skip the thruster. And as we moved back, we'd have to go in and fill that in by hand, which we don't want to do. So now that it's finished that, we're going to press 3. It'll move back, and as you can see, it just continues printing stuff. Now, it has a range of about 3 blocks in front of it, so you can kind of safely just continue to move back as it prints stuff. Assuming you have everything in your inventory, or everything that the ship needs, you can get this done fairly quickly. And it looks like we might be done. We'll just decrease this the entire distance. Okay, cool. Looks like we're done. We're gonna make sure you turn off the welders. And then we can fly over and check out our ship, and everything looks like it is nice and ready to go. If we go to K, we can go to remote access. We can control the... Well, it's not showing up here for some reason, but that's beside the point. It got our ship built, which was the main goal of this. Oh, we need to deconnect it, right? We need to do this and this. Otherwise, it's still part of the same grid. Now, if we go here in remote access, there we go. We have our small grid ship. We can view the controller, and we can fly it around. But that is about it for this one, guys. I hope you learned something. If you did, give me a thumbs up so YouTube knows we're putting out good stuff. If you want to come game with us in the Infinite Respawn Gaming server, feel free to look in the description. I will have a link to where you can come join our Discord and play with us. And I think that's about it for this one, so I will catch you in the next one. Peace.